Who did you reach out to?
My father mostly, because he had gone through the same experience 1979, and I just saw so many parallels between what I was going through and what he went through. His situation was a little different. I mean, he had an extramarital affair, but he had tried to put the marriage back together, and by that stage obviously it was irreparable, and he'd gone off overseas. And I remember getting postcards from him from Europe and Japan, him being away for a long time and being quite miserable. He actually wrote a book of poems about his divorce. And then, it would happen to me. And he was a copywriter slash television commercial director. Quite well known in the 80s. And I remember he wrote a story for a magazine called Billy Blue, which is like this sort of literary magazine in Sydney in the 80s, about running, sort of running to get away from your problems. And that's what he did. He would sort of run 15, 20 kilometres a day just to sort of get out of his head, and that's sort of what I had started doing. So there were a lot of parallels between the both of us. And so, I was always really conscious of the fact that he was a good source of advice for me during that time. And he was always there when I needed him to be. I'm not much of a handyman, and he is. So whenever something needs to be done, he would always come over and help, or he'd give me money when I'd run out of money. He was always there to help with my daughter if I needed him to. And he was always calling up just to make sure everything was all right, or take me out to lunch, so he was incredibly supportive.